to 28, 29. This is Hare shloka. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuvunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namavom Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Welcome all of you for this Srimad Bhagavatam class this morning. We are reciting from the 10th canto, 24th chapter, text number 28. Is it 28? Anyebhyascha Patitebhyo yatarhatah Yavasam chagavam datva Giraye diyatambalihi Anyebhyascha Chandala Patitebhyo yatarhatah Yavasam chagavam datva Giraye diyatambalihi. Yavasam chagavam datva Neva Chandala Anyesvachandala Patitevyo yatarhataha Yavasam jagavam datva Girayedi Matajis Anyebhyashchashvachandala Patitevyo yatarhataha Javasam jagavam datva Girayedi yatambalihi Anyebhyaha to the others Cha also Ashvachandala even down to the dogs and the dog eaters Patitebhyaha to such fallen persons Yatha as Arhataha is proper in each case Yavasam grass Cha and Gavam to the cows Datva having given Giraye to the mountain called Govardhana Diyatam should be presented Balihi respectful offerings. Translation. After giving the appropriate food to everyone else, including such fallen souls as dogs and dog eaters, you should give grass to the cows and then present your respectful offerings to Govardhana hill. Please repeat. After giving the appropriate food to everyone else, including such fallen souls as dogs and dog eaters, you should give grass to the cows and then present your respectful offerings to Govardhan hill. There is no purport to this. Let's read one more. Swa alankrita bhuktavantaha swanulipta suvasasaha pradakshinam chakurta govipranala parvatan. Translation. After everyone has eaten to his satisfaction, you should all dress and decorate yourselves handsomely, smear your bodies with sandalwood paste, and then circumambulate the cows, the brahmanas, the sacrificial fires, and Govardhana hill. Purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Lord Krishna wanted all the human beings and even the animals to eat nice Bhagavat prasadam, sanctified foods offered to the Lord. To enthuse his relatives with a festive mood, he requested them to dress beautifully with fine clothes and ornaments and to refresh their bodies with luxurious sandalwood paste. The essential activity, however, was the circumambulation of the holy brahmanas, cows, sacrificial fires, and especially Govardhan hill. Hare Krishna. So I am very happy to be here at Sri Sri Radha Rasbihari Mandir. Way back in 1991, same month, May month, May or June, I think, I was introduced to this temple here. And I still remember sitting near the pillar and chanting the holy name. So this is a place very dear to me, my heart, because His Grace Rasaraja Prabhu, His Grace Jiva Goswami Prabhu, His Grace Mukunda Madhav Prabhu, His Grace Kapila Prabhu, and also His Grace Brajahari Prabhu, His Grace Bhima Prabhu, His Grace Devakinandan Prabhu, His Grace Ramarup Prabhu. So all these devotees have given us classes. Also His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj would often come to IIT Bombay. And there are many other devotees also. So we were very fortunate to hear from all of them. And His Grace Mukund Madhav Prabhu and His Grace Rasaraja Prabhu, probably they both spent the most time with me, pacifying me of all my philosophical doubts. Sometimes Mukund Madhav would take me to the ocean side. We would sit there and answer all my questions. One time, I asked him, how do you say this? I asked him. He said, Brahma Samhita says this. He said. I said, but how can I know this is the ultimate truth? He said, are you bigger than Brahma? He asked me. Brahma has 4 heads and he has a body made of intelligence. And you have only 1 head and your body is made of Panchamahabhut. So it would be thrilling and adventurous to ask questions to them and get answers from them. So I grew up in my Krishna consciousness from this place. So this place is very, very dear to me. And there are many, many senior devotees in this temple, and I pray at the lotus feet of all of them to bless me and to say some few words of wisdom from Srimad Bhagavatam. Right now, worshipping of the Govardhana hill is going on. The main teaching of this pastime is Sarvadharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshishami Mascha. What Krishna says, he showed it how the Vrajavasis, first of all, obliged to Krishna's order that not to worship Indra and worship Krishna. So that way they did Sarvadharman Parityaja. They abandoned all other different type of dharmas, including the worship of demigods. And when that demigod became angry, Indra, at that time the Vrajavasis had no other shelter to go other than Krishna. That is Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Krishna Krishna Mahabhaga Tvanatham Gokulam Prabho Tratum Arhasi Devan Kupitat Bhaktavatsalah. This is the prayer they made to Krishna. Krishna Krishna means in great ecstasy they are calling Krishna's names twice. And while calling Krishna, they are calling his name Krishna Krishna. While talking about Indra, they don't even take his name. They are saying Kupit, he is saying Tratum Arhasi Devana, some Devata they say. Devana Kupitat Vatsalaha. One Devata has become angry on us. So who is the Devata is not that important because he is independently enacting something. But we don't care about that. We care about you, Krishna. Krishna Krishna Mahabhaga Tvannatham Gokulam Prabhu. You are the actual master for us. You are the master of Gokula. You are master of all of us. And we are taking your shelter. Mamekam Sharanam Praja. Tratum Arghasi Devana Kupitat Bhakta Vatsalaha. Because you are a Bhakta Vatsala Govinda, we are very confident that by taking your shelter we will attain all perfection. We don't have to go to anybody else. We will not go and beg that demigod to become pacified and give up his anger and save our lives. We will not do that. Because you are the Devadidev. Just like what Bhishma Pitama said also. When Bhishma was lying in the arrow bed, at that time, Yudhishthira Maharaj asked questions about many dharmas. He asked about Stri Dharma, he asked about Varnashrama Dharma, he asked about Jati Dharma, he asked about Desh Dharma, so many dharmas he asked. Kshatriya Dharma, Raja Dharma. After speaking all those things, Bhishma became a little tired. He said, enough now of all these talks about the different things in this world. Now allow me to withdraw myself. Deep in my consciousness, I want to meditate on the form of the Lord now. Because now I am going to, according to Ichamrityu, he was planning to leave his body. He was planning to think of Lord Krishna. At that time, Yudhishthira Maharaj said, one last question I have. Now I won't ask any more questions. He asked, okay, tell me, what is the question? Kimekam daivatam loke kim vapyekam parayanam stuvantakam kamarchanta prapnuyurmanava shubham ko dharma sarva dharmanam bhavata paramo mataha kim japan muchyate jantur janma samsara bandhanat. 4 questions he asked, all combined in one. He said, kim ekam daivatam loke, who is that one personality I should worship? Kim vapekam parayanam, whom should I worship? Tell me only one name. And stuvantakam, whose stuti should I do? Whom should I praise? Kam archanta, whose archana I should do? Prapni yurmana vashubham, I will attain all auspiciousness by doing that. And then he said, Ko dharma, which dharma? Ko dharma sarva dharmanam bhavataha paramo. Amongst all the different dharmas he spoke to me, which is the ultimate dharma? Yes. Kim japan means by chanting whose name? Muchyate jantuhu. All living beings can be liberated by chanting whose name? Janma samsara bandhanat. When Bhishma heard this question, he became so thrilled. He became jubilant. He said, such a wonderful question you asked me now, Yudhishthir. Sit down, now I am going to speak. Then he spoke at great length. Now he was not tired. Why? Because earlier he was speaking about so many mundane dharmas, which are needed to be known by a king if he has to rule the praja in this world. But those dharmas did not please the heart of Bhishma. But the moment he asked about the paro dharma, then Bhishma became jubilant. I was just thinking how Bhishma was being poked by so many arrows behind his back, isn't it? So many arrows. Imagine if somebody takes one needle and pricks from your back, how will you feel? Can you speak to anybody? You can see when you're walking in the road, if your foot touches one thorn, all the attention of the body goes there, to that one part of the leg. We forget everything else. But here is Bhishma having hundreds of arrows poking his body and blood is oozing out. But he is absolutely not concerned about it while glorifying the Supreme Lord. That goes to show his attachment to Krishna. Then he said, Bhishmo vacha jagat pramam deva devam anantam purushottamam stuvannama sahasrena purushas satatotitaha tameva charchayan nityam bhaktya purusham avyayam dhyayan stuvan namastyamscha yajamanas in this way he goes on, but the very first line he says, Jagat Prabhum, Deva Devam, is the Dev of all the Dev. Jagat Prabhum, master of the whole universe. Anantam, his powers are unlimited. Purushottamam is called as Purushottama. And I will give you a Sahasranam, 1,000 names I will tell you. That doesn't mean he has only 1,000 names. But just like we say Sahasra Shir Shah Purushaha, Sahasraksha, Sahasrapat, we say, no? So somebody may have a question. Sahasra Shirsha means 1,000 heads. Sahasra Aksha means how many? 1,000 eyes. If heads are 1,000, eyes should be how much? 2,000. But eyes also only 1,000 it says. Why? It is not 1,000, it is thousands. He has thousands of heads, and thousands of eyes, thousands of hands, thousands of legs. It says, so he's Anantam. His powers are unlimited. So then he went on telling his glories in the form of various names. So, pure devotees, they take shelter of Krishna firmly, like Bhishma is taking shelter. In the same manner, the Vrajabasis also, Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, principle they followed in this pastime. Although they were doing the dharma of Vaishyas earlier, now they transcended the dharma of Vaishyas and they became, and they behaved as pure devotees. Surrendering to Krishna. Shri Shri Radha Raspihari ki, Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshmana Hanuman ki, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Shri Prabhupada ki. So, generally all living entities should follow their varnashrama duties until they become completely pure devotees. Tavat karmani kurvita na nirvidyeta yavata Matkatha Shravanadauva Shraddha Yavan Najayate. So in that verse, Lord Krishna tells Uddhava that when the intense taste for hearing and chanting has awakened in the heart of a devotee, then a devotee adopts the path of Bhagavat Vidhi. So then a person transcends the all other mundane dharmas, including the varnashram also. Krishna says that. So here you find Vrajabasis, they, what to speak of their taste for Krishna, they are all pure devotees. So that is the main theme of this pastime. And in today's context, in this context, in today's verse, the talk is going on about Krishna ordering them to do certain things. He is telling them, after giving appropriate food to everyone else, including such fallen souls as chandalas and dogs and dog eaters, you should give grass to the cows, and then present your respectful offerings to Govardhan hill also. After everyone has eaten to his satisfaction, you should all dress and decorate yourself handsomely. smear your bodies with chandan, and circumambulate cows, brahmanas, and sacrificial fire. See, the Vedic life is centered around, the traditional life is, in the Vedic times, is centered around Brahminical culture. Brahminical culture, when you say, the one word Brahminical culture, Vedic culture means many things. One very easy way I will tell you to remember. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, you can remember. A for absolute truth, Krishna. It should be centered around Krishna. B for Brahmanas. It should be centered around the teachers of the Vedas. And C for cows, or cow protection. And D for demigods should be respected, because the demigods are the ones who are giving the sunlight and the moonlight and the wind and the rainfall and all that. So they are all agents of the Supreme Lord. Just like when you are going in the road, the traffic policeman shows the hand. He may not be drawing a big salary, but even a millionaire's car stops. Do you think millionaire will not care for the traffic policeman because he is not drawing much money? He knows that I will respect this traffic policeman because by respecting him, I am respecting the agency of the Lord, which is representing the Lord. Representing the government. Similarly, demigods are agencies of the Lord. We respect them because they are representing Supreme Lord. There is one verse in Bhagavatam which says that Narayana Paraveda Deva Narayana Angaja, it is said. Deva Narayana Angaja means they all have come from the limbs of the body of the Lord. So they should be respected also. So absolute truth, Brahmanas, cow protection, and respecting demigods. And E is etiquettes and behavior. How to deal with seniors, equals, juniors. How man should deal with woman, woman should deal with man. How to deal with children. How to deal with plants and trees. How to deal with the other animals. So that includes the Panchamahayajna also. Panchamahayajna means, the Deva Yajna, Pitru Yajna, Nru Yajna, Bhuta Yajna, Brahma Yajna. These 5 are called Panchamahayajna. So Deva Yajna, already I told you, for the Devatas, the Ahuti is given in the sacrificial fire for the Devatas. And the Pitru Yajna, you must have seen in homes they do on Shraddha day, Pitamaha, Prapitamaha and Vishvedeva. Through them they reach to the Pitrus. They give them the sandals, they give them umbrella, and they give them a walking stick, they give them a hand fan, and they give them prasad. By serving those Brahmins, they are reaching the punya benefit to the forefathers. They are reaching. So Pitru Yajna, Deva Yajna. Nru Yajna means in this world you will see that people are dependent on the other men, isn't it? For example, a Vaishya will give charity to Brahmins, he will give tax to the Kshatriya kings, he would give food, clothing, shelter to the Shudras. So he has to serve the other 3 classes with his wealth. So, and also Atiti Satkar, that is also coming in Nru Yajna. Then Bhuta Yajna means cows are giving us milk, dog is protecting the house, horses are taking us on their back for a ride, and the donkeys lift heavy clothes and everything. All the animals, domestic animals which are serving humans, they all deserve to be protected and cared for also. That is Bhuta Yajna. Then Brahma Yajna means it's a Rishi Rin. Rishi Rin means the Rishis have given us words of wisdom, which can become a compass for our lives, to lead our lives purely. So, and the Vedas which they have taught us, we have a rent to them. And how do we fulfill that debt? By studying the Vedas daily. So in this way, this Panchamahayajna if we do, then we are properly dealing with all living beings appropriately. And after E, F means fleeing to the lotus feet of Vishnu. What is that verse? Om Tat Vishnum Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Suryaha. The Devatas are ones who run to the lotus feet of Vishnu whenever there is any danger. That is fleeing to the lotus feet of Vishnu. G means culture of sattva, goodness. One should cultivate sattvic behavior, which means whether it is any place, not only in the temple, even at home, even in office, wherever we are, how do we deal with other living entities? So there is a principle of um, conformity and unity. Conformity with Supreme Lord. Vertically we should have conformity. And unity with all the fellow living beings. So Krishna says, Aham bija pradaha pita. He is the Pita, Father. So with him, that means his laws we should have conformity. Conformity means aligning with Shastra. Like Krishna says, Tasmat Shastra Pramanam te karya akarya vyavastitau. He says, what to do, what not to do, what is beneficial, what is harmful. If you want to know, go to the Shastra. First know it. After you know it, strictly adhere to it. That is conformity principle, we call it. Anywhere you go, in company, the siren blows in the morning. If you don't go on time, then half a day they will mark you absent. You have conformity to the company. College, somebody doesn't give 70% or 80% attendance, then they will not be allowed to sit for the exams, isn't it? Everywhere there is conformity. So in the same manner, like in India, you keep your car to the left. In America, you keep the car to the right. You are conforming to the traffic laws. Similarly, there are God's laws. One should show conformity to them. Alignment with His laws. And unity means with other living entities, one should not quarrel with fellow living beings. If I pinch my neighbor and I turn away, then he will also pinch me. You can't expect that I will give trouble to other living beings and they will not give me trouble. We are also going to get trouble. And that is how living entities are all troubling one another in this world. So unity principle means learning to collectively work together with all living entities to please the Supreme Lord. So Prabhupada stressed on this principle even within ISKCON temples also. If you want to show your love for me, what Prabhupada said? Cooperate with one another to keep the mission together. The last part is not known to many people. They only say, if you want to show your love for me, you cooperate with one another. Prabhupada didn't stop with that. Prabhupada said, to keep the mission together. We need cooperation for what purpose? To keep the ISKCON mission together. So we need cooperation with other fellow living entities. Because there are always differences in opinion. My idea, your idea and all that. But people should give their ideas and be detached. And then be willing to agree with the collective outcome. So Vedic life is centered around Brahminical culture. And Hach is the holy name, last one. A for absolute truth. B for? C for? D for? Respect demigods. And E for? And G? E, F? And G? And Hach? Yeah. So this is Brahminical culture. So in Brahminical culture you will see, if you read 3.12 Bhagavad Gita, from that you read 3-4 verses, beautiful purpose Prabhupada gives. He gives a very nice, understanding of why this material world has been created by the Supreme Lord. He makes it so crystal clear and very lucid there. So I'll try to present it in my own words in a very simple manner. The very first thing we should know that life means there is a connectedness between all living forms. But modern day education teaches you that you are independent. You are the king. You are the center of the world and everyone should be at your beck and call and everything should revolve around you. And animals are meant for my eating and all the people should, I should get up on their shoulders and heads to climb the ladder of success by being the topper either in academic field or in professional field. And I am the center and the whole world should revolve around me. This is the kind of false understanding that is being promoted in modern day education everywhere. Work hard, make money and enjoy. So it is a money-making culture. It is an I culture. I, me, mine culture. But this is actually a very dangerous type of paradigm that is being floated in schools and colleges for the children. And this is a false paradigm. And that is why children are committing suicides. People are, having such quarrels and wars and everything. If you give this kind of paradigm, initially it will look very great for them. But eventually it will end up in clashes between man and man, family and family, country and country. You will see that. And the true paradigm is given in the scriptures, Vedic scriptures, which you can see with your eyes. The Vedas say that there is a connectedness between all living entities, and there is a symbiotic relationship between them. What is symbiotic? Symbiotic means we have mutual dependence on one another. Like plants give me oxygen and I give them, or what do we give them? Carbon dioxide, isn't it? You will see that there's a dependence. Like cows give us milk and we maintain the cow. We take care of the cow. Similarly, when children are born in this world, even before opening their eyes, they have a mother and father to protect them. When the children grow up, then parents become very old. When parents become 70, 80, 90, their body becomes fragile. Then they become dependent on the sons and daughters. Correct, no? Initially, children depend on parents. Later, parents depend on children. Similarly, plants depend on us for carbon dioxide. We depend on them for oxygen. There is mutual dependence. Cows depend on us for giving fodder and maintenance and taking care of them. If they get sick, we have a veterinary doctor and all that. And then in turn, they are also giving milk. You will see that. There is a mutual relationship like this. You see, you must have seen in sometimes in lakes and all, the crocodile, they open their mouth. A small bird goes and sits inside and takes out the pieces of flesh between their teeth. The bird helps them to remove. Same for the lion also. Lions also take help from one small bird. When the lion opens the mouth, the bird goes and sits in the teeth and removes. But the lion will not eat up the bird. Do you know why it will not eat? Why? The bird helps to remove the piece of flesh between the two teeth. So lion knows this bird is my friend. He is helping me, so you will not eat him. And the bird has no fear in going inside the mouth. You have seen that? In the same manner, in villages you will see bulls and like buffaloes and all. A crane or some birds go and sit in their neck and they take away the ticks. You have seen that? They take away the ticks and the pain is relieved for the animal, and they also get some eatable also by that. So this is called symbiotic relationship, mutual dependence. So all living creatures in this world are mutually dependent on one another, and they are absolutely dependent on Supreme Lord. No jiva can survive without the Supreme Lord's glance, without His mercy. So this is the first truth the Shastras say that. Don't think you are independent. Modern day, man thinks that instead of serving the Panchamahayagna, which I told you, instead of serving these people, he thinks, let the cow give me milk. When she stops giving milk, then cut her. Send her to slaughterhouse. This is his mentality. Similarly, man is making millions of dollars, but many people are making money. Money making has become a big thing. Then they don't care for the older people, old parents or grandparents. They don't care for them. Money becomes everything for them. Similarly, Bhuta Yajna, Nru Yajna, Deva Yajna, none of this they do, if you see. They live like two-legged animals. So, because of thinking himself smart and independent, when he gets older, he will realize there is nobody for him. People feel emptiness in their heart. And that's one reason why even very rich people also commit suicide. That's the main reason. Because they feel hollowness. Because they have failed to see the connectedness between living entities and the dependence of the living entities on the Supreme Lord. They have forgotten that. So, the Shastra says that, see, your mother, father gave you a body. Mother was bearing you in her womb for 9 months. And then after you were born, she gave you breast milk. After that, when you grew up, they raised you to a point where you are standing on your leg now. Therefore, we have a duty towards parents and ancestors. That is our connectedness to them. In the same manner, we are also dependent on so many members of the society. For the dress you wear, did you make the dress yourself? Some weavers are making this dress which you wear, isn't it? The food you eat is produced by the farmers. You will see that. You want to shave your head, you go to a salon, then there is somebody doing this for you. Similarly, the water supply somebody is doing. So in this way, we have to learn to open our eyes to see the connectedness in this world with different living entities. Therefore, we should look at other living entities sympathetically, because we are depending on them. We are taking benefit from them. They are also God's children. Like here, the dogs are said. The dogs are protectors of the house. They protect the house. And the cows are giving milk. With the milk, you can make ghee, which you can offer it in the sacrificial fire. And with the milk, you can make butter. You can make dahi, curd. And the milk, when it is drunk, it goes straight to the brain tissues and nourishes them to study the Shastras more effectively when we drink cow's milk. Isn't it? So therefore, one should be very grateful to Mother Cow. When you're drinking a glass of milk, immediately one should remember Mother Cow, gratefully. So, by seeing connectedness with the other living entities and looking upon them sympathetically, and seeing them as well as ourselves as Mamaivamsho, Jivaloke, Jivabhuta, Sanatanaha. Eternally we are part and parcels of Krishna, and they are also part and parcels of the Lord. Then comes the conformity. Why I should conform to Krishna's laws? Because I am his part and parcel. If you think you are an Indian, you live in India, therefore you follow the Indian laws. Correct? No? You are an Indian citizen, you follow the Indian laws. If you are a Goloka citizen, then you have to follow the laws of God. When you understand, I am part and parcel of Krishna. So Krishna is the Supreme Master, then you have to follow his laws. So that which is given in the scriptures. Krishna always will say in Gita, you will see, Ye me matamidam nityam manutishtanti manavaha shraddhavanto anasuyanto muchyante te karmabihi ye tvadabbe suyanto nanutishtanti me matam sarvajnana vimudham stan vidyanashtan achetasaha. He says, two verses. One verse he says, Ye me matamidam nityam anutishtanti. Those who follow by the laws that I have given, they will, with Shraddha they follow, with faith, they will muchyante, they will get liberated from this world and go back home, back to Godhead. So how do those devotees see? When they come to this world, they see that, oh Krishna, you are so kind, you have given us so many eatables, you have given us sunlight, moonlight, rains, wind, none of which we can create. You are giving us the manganese, sulfur, iron, all these different kinds of industrial materials without which no industries can run. Is it not true? Without sunlight, moonlight, rainfall and wind, can we live in this world? Or without the vegetables, fruits, grains, cereals, milk, sugar, and spices, can we live without those things? So all these things is provided by Krishna. So we are grateful to him. We know that he has given these things for what? He has given these things so that we can accept them and lead a healthy life in supplication to him, in surrender to him, so that we can purify the heart and go back to him. That's the purpose for which it is given. Just like a father, many young students are sitting here. Many of your fathers say they have given you money. Every month they send you money for your food, for your accommodation and for your college fee. But your father also has some expectation from you. This boy will finish his 4 years of engineering or 5 years of medicine and then he'll come back and join my business. Correct, no? They expect. Similarly, Krishna's business is Leela in the spiritual world. So he wants all the jivas to finish off their term in the material world, pass out from this college of material world and go back home, back to Godhead. So how many living entities are doing that? So Srila Prabhupada taught us through his Bhaktivedanta purports. This is the goal of the Lord providing us facilities. But there are boys you will see who take the money from the father, they drink liquor, they smoke cigarette, they watch a movie, they roam around in bikes, play cards, and they squander all the wealth. And they neither earn the degree nor join the business. Far from doing that, they are rotting. You can see that. In fact, father has to take them to a drug rehabilitation hospital and put them there. So here is a bad son. Papa uses the word good sons of the Lord and bad sons of the Lord. So we should become good sons or bad sons? Yeah. So good son means he knows that conformity principle means yajna. Yajno vai Vishnu. I have taken from the Lord, now I should follow his authority and I should be grateful to him. If you know these two things, then you are doing conformity. I should follow his instructions means following the scriptures. And gratitude means lovingly giving back what he has given us, or not touching anything in this world without his sanction, without his blessings, without his permission, what he has allowed us in the scriptures. And when we do this, then comes the principle of unity with other living entities. We will see that, like one man was on a hot sunny day walking on the road, the Thar road was melting, and he had no chappal also. He was running and the Thar was sticking to his feet, it was so hot. So he ran to that tree, big Vatavriksha, banyan tree. So he went and lied down at the root of the tree, and now he relaxed because of a big shady tree. He relaxed. So another dog also came to relax there. Immediately the man picked up a stone to hit the dog. So the tree asked him, hey, I am giving you shelter. I am also giving shelter to the dog. Why do you hit the dog? What are you doing? So this fellow had no reason to give. Similarly, you will see the living beings in this world hurt each other, hurt one another for no good reason at all. Simply out of ego, false ego. Fight with one another for nothing. Like Prabhupada says in Bhagavatam first canto, China and India have been friends for many years, he says. But in 1962 or 63, I think, they had a war, China and India. What was the reason for the war? Prabhupada says, earlier they were God-fearing, pure and simple. Three things Prabhupada says. They were God-fearing, pure and simple. So they were friendly. But the moment they became godless, they became impure, and they became duplicitous. And the result was they were fighting for a desolate land, he says, which is uncultivable, useless, moist, desolate land. For that they were fighting. Fighting for nothing. Even if China gets it or India gets it in that land, nobody can do anything. Still they want to show it is whose land? My land. Like once in Pune station, I saw two dogs. They were catching either side of the Bisleri bottle, which is a beaten up bottle. Somebody has drunk water and beaten up the bottle and Bisleri bottle and thrown it. One dog is catching mouth side, one is catching other side, and then they are pulling. 1 hour they are fighting. I thought there is no water also inside. What are they going to do with it? What do you think they want to prove? I am stronger than you, that's all. Now Russia may want to show we are stronger than America. America may want to show we are stronger than you. Basically it is a fight, who is mightier, who is more influential, who has more followers, who is big. So Prabhupada says in one lecture, every living entity wants to become big and strong so that it can subdue others. Like that story of the rat who went to a sage and said, Sage, I am too tiny and too soft. You see, people are exploiting me. Please make me stronger. He said, what do you want to become? The stronger fellow who troubles me is who? Cat. Please make me a cat. He said, Tadastu. He became cat. Then after some time, the cat again went to the sage and said, Sir, now I am bigger than the rat. At the same time, I am even afraid of the dogs. Sometimes the dogs tear the cats to pieces. So we are very afraid of the dogs. We can't come in front of them. Please make me more stronger. Okay, you want to be a dog? Tadastu. He became dog also. Now the dog thought, the whole lane belongs to me. Nobody can come into the lane. He was barking and running here and there. Then he understood more stronger than the dog is a tiger. He said, let me become a tiger. So everybody will be afraid of me. So then the sage told him, Tadastu. When he became a tiger, what he said? He was staring at the sage, like that, opening the mouth. Sage asked, why are you staring at me like that? You want to eat me? He said, yes. Punamushika bhava, he said. So again he became a rat. He again became a rat. When Prabhupada was in America, somebody came and told Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, the World Almanac magazine says that in future they are thinking of doing tunnels underground. Because there may be wars on the surface of the globe. They prefer to make underground buildings. What do you call that? Like bomb shells, they call, no? Bomb shells, as well as a big city underground, which can be even more protected. Prabhupada laughed and said, earlier they were going in skyscraper, now they are growing underground like rats. Rats only live underground. Prabhupada said, now they are Punahamushika Bhava, he was telling. They are going underground now. So, Prabhupada says, compare these two animals, a cow and a tiger, he says. Tiger is a strong animal. He can frighten everybody, but he can't do any good. On the other hand, the cow is a soft animal and mild-natured animal, and it is giving milk which you can drink and nourish your brain tissues and study Vedas. You can perform yajna. So in this world, materially becoming strong is useless. We have to spiritually become humble, aligning with the will of the Lord, conform to His instructions, and accept His authority, conform to the teachings of the Lord, and also unitedly join hands with other living entities and serve the Lord. That is the actual goal. Here Vijayavasis are very amazing. In the Bhagavatam 10th canto there is one very nice episode which comes. In the Gokul Mahavan, one time, lot of demons started coming. And Nanda Baba's eldest brother, his name is Upananda. So Upananda told Nanda that, please let's call for a meeting of all the coward men. So all the coward men came together. And Nanda Baba requested him that, my dear brother, you lead the meeting, he said. Upananda said, no, you are the leader of Vrindavan. Our father has made you the king of Vrindavan. See, they had 5 brothers and Nanda Baba was the middle one. Still everybody wanted Nanda Baba to become the king of Vraja. Can you imagine? The eldest son and the second son, they had no problem in Nanda becoming the king. Everybody unanimously voted that Nanda should be made the king. But although Nanda is the king, because the very name Nanda means one who gives pleasure to others, pleasure to all. So, but Nanda is such a good king, he told his eldest brother that, I want you to lead the meeting. The reason he gave is, Suhrit Krishna Rama Yoho, he says. Because you are actually always thinking of the welfare of Rama and Krishna, Balarama and Krishna. Anyone who is most concerned about the mission of the Lord, of the Lord's protection, they should actually lead. You should lead the meeting, he said. So he agreed, Upananda. And Upananda proposed an idea that, you see, Putana came, she came to kill Krishna, our child was saved. Then Trinavrata came, Shakatasura came. Then very recently, the 2 big tall trees, they fell down and many children were around the trees. Fortunately, the trees didn't fall on any of our children. They were saved and protected by God's grace. Now I strongly feel we should not stay here any longer. It's a very dangerous place. We should go to some safer place. And then he proposed one place called Vrindavana. And he said it has got very nice lushy green grass. It has got nice gardens. It has got Adris, mountains are there. There is a Yamuna lake flowing there, Yamuna river flowing there. And there is enough for the grass for the cows and calves. There is also enough. All our children will be very happy there. Krishna Balaram will be very happy. And then finally he told one word, Bhavatam yadi rochate, he said. If all of you like this idea, then let us start today only. Go to that place. You will see the next verse, all the Vajabasis said, Sadhu, Sadhu iti. They are saying that. They are all saying, Sabash, Sabash, well done, well done. Everybody agreed to Upananda's idea. So they all moved. So that is a very beautiful meeting. Our ISKCON meetings are supposed to be like that, because ISKCON's meetings are also ultimately meant for protecting this mission of ISKCON. And what Srila Prabhupada has erected, this great spiritual edifice, ISKCON, which should be saved, protected from the onslaught of any unscrupulous elements. It should be protected from within, protected from without. And people who are coming together for meetings should, in the heart they should carry Krishna with them. And they should try to do the ultimate good for Krishna's movement. So, there is so much mutual respect between the Gopas. And all of them, their hearts are aligned with Krishna's protection and Krishna's will. And in the same manner, so that is the example of unity principle. Unitedly working together for the pleasure of Krishna. So here Krishna is telling them, there was one verse which Hiranyakashipu says, you will see, Yatra yatra dvijagavo veda varna shrama kriyaha tam janapadam yata sandipayata vrishchata. He is telling his people, wherever there is Brahmanas and cows and Vedas and Varnashrama Kriya is being followed, you go to those cities, towns, villages, and you set fire. Because he says that these are the components which make the Brahminical culture flourish. Even he knows that. So therefore, if devotees of the Lord take care of these Brahminical culture elements very nicely, you will see that the materially, spiritually, they will prosper in all respects. Therefore, even Devatas also want to leave the heaven and come to earth, especially in this age, Kali Yuga. Na yatra vaikuntha katha sudhapaga, na sadhavo bhagavatas tadashraya, na yatra yajnesha makha mahotsava, सुरेश लोकोऽपि न वैस सेव्यतां किं दुष्करैर्न क्रतुभिस्तपोव्रतैर्दानादिभिर्वा द्विजयेन फल्गुनां न यत्र नारायणपादपङ्कजस्मृतिप्रमुष्ठा अतिशयेन्द्रियोत्सवात्. In these two verses, Devatas are saying, where yajna is not done, where utsavams are not celebrated, where the Lord is not worshipped, where the Bhagavad Katha is not going on, where the holy names are not chanted, where the Brahminical culture is not followed. So they are saying that, even if it is Suresha Loka or Surendra Loka, we don't want to live. But we want to go to earth, where people are in Kali Yuga chanting the Hare Krishna mantra and worshipping Radha Ras Bihari, coming together and having Bhagavad Katha, and chanting and dancing in Harinam Sankirtan, and distributing spiritual literature by the guidance of the great Acharya Srila Prabhupada. This movement is set rolling in. They are saying, we want to take birth. And why are we not able to do that in heaven? Na yatra narayana pada pankaja smriti pramushta atishaya indriya utsava. They are saying. Our buddhi has become brashta because of atishaya indriya utsava. So therefore, in our spiritual life, we should chase after Krishna and not chase after sense gratification. Because if we chase after sense gratification, we will be in the same situation of what demigods are saying. Demigods are envious of people on earth in Kali Yuga, because Kali Yuga Vasis are getting this wonderful Sankirtan movement, which is the topmost yajna in this day and age. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. I can take 10 minutes questions. It's written 8 to 9, 10. Is it? I can take questions? Okay. Or comments also, Prabhu. Give the mic. Where is the mic? You raise the hand.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
दंडवत प्रणाम।
सबसे पहले तो थैंक यू, सौभाग्यशाली समझता हूँ अपने आप को कि आपकी क्लास सुनने का मौका मिला। और मेरे प्रभु जी 4 क्वेश्चन हैं छोटे छोटे से। फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन है कि
ये क्या बोलना, अभी एक एक करके मैं आंसर दे दूंगा, ठीक है? हाँ बोलिए।
फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन है प्रभु जी कि एक कमी है कि विनम्रता नहीं है, विनम्रता की कमी है।
विनम्रता की कमी है, करेक्ट।
और दूसरा है कि धैर्य की कमी है,
पेशेंस
की कमी है वो। और तीसरा है कि दूसरों के दोष देखने की आदत है, गलती दूसरों की देखने की। और चौथा है कि नाम जप जो है उसकी क्वालिटी कैसे।
करेक्ट है,
ये चारों।
करेक्ट। देखिए, विनम्रता दम्बम महदुपासया, ऐसे भागवत में बताया गया है। जब हम दम्भ के वश में आते हैं, अहंकारी हो जाते हैं, तो हमें महात्मा पुरुषों के निकट जाकर संग करना चाहिए, सेवा देना चाहिए, उनसे श्रवण करना चाहिए। क्योंकि महात्मा पुरुषों का आदत होता है, हालांकि वो हैं महान बहुत, लेकिन अपने आप को बहुत छोटे मानते हैं। जैसे आम का पेड़ में जितना आम का भार बढ़ जाता है तो आम का पेड़ झुकता है, लेकिन अशोक का पेड़ में फल है ही नहीं, कहीं सीधा खड़ा रहता है। इसलिए हम लोग आम के पेड़ जैसे होना चाहिए, अशोक पेड़ जैसे होना चाहिए। हाँ, तो इस तरह हमारे अंदर भी जब दिव्य गुण जग जाएंगे भगवान की कृपा से, भक्तों की संग से, तब हम लोग भी झुकेंगे। हाँ, इसलिए शास्त्र बताते हैं कि महात्मा पुरुषों के पास जाकर श्रवण करो, उनको उनके आदेश के अनुसार सेवा करो, और उन सर्व एंड ऑब्जर्व। 2 things we have to do. You should render service. Service, how do you render service? उनसे श्रवण करना, कथा श्रवण करना। दूसरा है उनके शरीर की सेवा कैसे करते हैं, उनके लिए गाड़ी चला सकते हैं, उनके लिए नहीं तो कुकिंग कर सकते हैं, मार्केट में उनको चाहे तो खरीद कर उनको दे सकते हैं, कभी उनके कपड़े धो सकते हैं, इस तरह सेवा दे सकते हैं उनको। वन इज़ अ सर्विस टू द फिजिकल बॉडी, एंड वन इज़ बाय हियरिंग। तीसरा है उनसे उपदेश मांगना चाहिए। आदेश हो जाएंगे, वो बोलते हैं 8 माला करो तो 8 माला करना चाहिए। हाँ, अगर बोलते ये लेक्चर सुनना चाहिए, ये पढ़ो बोलेंगे तो पढ़ना चाहिए, तो उनसे आदेश लेकर उसको पूर्ति करना चाहिए उसको। तो धीरे धीरे क्या होगा, हमको उनके ऊपर एक तरह का प्रेम जग जाएगा। तो हम सोचेंगे कि उन्होंने नाराज ना होने के लिए बोला, इसलिए मैं नाराज़ नहीं होऊंगा। इस तरह हम लोग धीरे धीरे, क्रोध भी कम हो जाएगा। उनके बारे में जब स्मरण करते हैं, इसलिए बताया गया कि दर्शन पवित्र करो, ये तुम्हारा गुण। गंगा को स्पर्श करने के बाद पवित्र होते हैं। गंगार परस होले पश्चाते पावन, बोलिए, गंगार परस होले पश्चाते पावन। दर्शन पवित्र करो ये तुम्हारा गुण, दर्शन पवित्र हे बारो करुणा करो वैष्णव गोसाई, हे बारो करुणा करो पतित पावन तुम्हारे के हो ना। याहर निकट गेले पाप दूरे जाय, ये मन दयाला प्रभु के भाकोत पाय। हरि स्थाने अपराधे तारे हरि नाम, तोमा स्थाने अपराधे नाही परित्राण। प्रति जन्मे कोरी आशा चरणे रधूले, नारता में करो दया अपनार बोले। जय वर करुणा करो वैष्णव गोसा, इसमें क्या बताते हैं, इसमें यार निकट गेले पाप दूर जाए, ऐसे महात्मा पुरुषों के निकट जाते ही पाप दूर भाग जाएगा, ऐसे बताते हैं। दर्शन मात्र से गंगा को स्पर्श करने के बाद शुद्ध होते हैं, उनको दर्शन करके हम शुद्ध होते हैं, ऐसे बताते हैं। और बताते हैं कि हर जन्म में उनकी संग की अपेक्षा करना चाहिए। तो इस दुनिया में भगवान को प्रेम करना थोड़ा मुश्किल है, लेकिन भक्तों से महात्मा पुरुषों को प्रेम करना मुश्किल नहीं है, क्योंकि आपके समक्ष आप देखेंगे चलते हैं फिरते हैं करते हैं, तो उनसे अगर हम आसक्त हो जाते हैं तो बड़ा लाभ है हमारे लिए। नम्रता आसानी से आएगा। अभी रहुगुण बड़ा गर्वी था पहले, लेकिन जड़ भरत की संग करके तुरंत नम्र बन गया वो लीला में पढ़ेंगे आप ऐसे, हाँ इस तरह का। और दूसरा आपने जो पूछा, धैर्यता नहीं है, पेशेंस नहीं है। प्रभु जी उदाहरण देते हैं कि अगर कोई स्त्री पुरुष विवाह करते हैं तो बच्चे पैदा होने के लिए 9 महीना लगता है, उसके बाद गर्भवती बचा देती है। इस तरह इस दुनिया में कुछ भी करना हो, अगर आप करोड़पति भी क्यों ना हो, अगर आपके पास एक पुराना बिल्डिंग है उसको तोड़कर नया बांधना है और आपके पास 500 करोड़ भी है, फिर भी टाइम लगेगा कि नहीं? ऐसा नहीं कि पैसा दे दिया तुरंत उसी दिन आ जाएगा बिल्डिंग, तो पैसा होने के बावजूद भी टाइम लगता है। भगवान एकमात्र व्यक्ति है जो इच्छा करते ही उनकी इच्छा तुरंत पूर्ति हो जाता है, उनके पास इच्छा शक्ति है। हम ऐसे नहीं कर सकते हैं। जैसे माँ किचन में जाती है, ऐसे तवा को देखते हैं, कड़कड़कड़ा ऐसे चपाती आ जाएगा, है ऐसे सब्जी भी रेडी हो गया, कितना अच्छा होता माताओं के लिए, पूरा दिन उनको मिल जाएगा भक्ति करने के लिए। लेकिन हमारे पास वो शक्ति नहीं है ऐसे। लेकिन भगवान जैसे दृष्टिपात करते हैं, सह ऐक्षता सह असृजता, हाँ ऐसे दृष्टिपात करके तुरंत सृष्टि को निर्माण कर देते हैं। तो जब हम पूरा आध्यात्मिक जीवन में उन्नति हो जाएगा, आप भी ऐसे कर पाओगे। आप भी जैसे प्रभुपाद जी उधर डेट्रॉइट में 2 लोग थे उनके साथ, लेका श्रवंती माता जी और फोर्ड अम्बरीश प्रभु, उनके साथ एक बिल्डिंग देखने के लिए गए। अंदर जाकर देखा, ऊपर नीचे देखा, बोला कि ये तो राजमहल जैसा दिख रहा है। तो ओनर बहुत खुश हो गया, अच्छा लग रहा है स्वामी को। लेकिन ओनर को प्रभु ने बोला, हम राजा नहीं, हम भिखारी हैं, इसलिए हमको दान में दे सकते हो क्या, ऐसे पूछा उन्होंने। वो पूछा, स्वामी जी दान में ये कितना, $20 मिलियन से ज़्यादा है। प्रभु जी पूरा देखा और इतना बार्गेन करके उसको 3.5-4 मिलियन में फाइनलाइज कर दिया प्रभुपाद जी ने। ऐसे दोनों को पेमेंट करने के लिए बोला, दोनों शिष्यों ने पेमेंट कर दिया। प्रभुपाद जी बाहर निकले, प्रभुपाद जी बोले, देखो मैं खाली हाथ के साथ अंदर आया, खाली हाथ के साथ बाहर गया और ये बिल्डिंग भगवान का हो गया। तो सब लोगों ने, प्रभुपाद जी अपने चमत्कार कर दिया आपने। तो शुद्ध भक्त की इच्छा को भगवान तुरंत पूर्ति करते हैं। हम उस स्तर पर नहीं है, इसलिए हमको धैर्य चाहिए। सो वी हैव टू बी पेशेंट। इंस्टेंटली थिंग्स में नॉट टू हैपन। अभी प्रभुपाद जी 12 साल में क्या क्या किया उन्होंने, 108 केंद्र खोला। हम लोग एक केंद्र को संभालने में पूरा जान निकल जाता है, क्योंकि हम अभी तक इच्छाओं, अभी तक काम क्रोध लोभ मोहम्मद शरीर से मुक्त नहीं है। तो पेशेंस चाहिए। अगर आपने एक गीले टॉवल को एक बबूल पेड़ के ऊपर डाल दिया आपने, अभी बस जाने वाला है, तुरंत हम निकलेंगे तो क्या हो जाएगा, वो फट जाएगा। इसलिए धीरे से निकलना चाहिए। तो धैर्य रखना चाहिए, उत्साह निश्चयात धैर्य। श्री प्रभुपाद की और भक्त वृंद की। थैंक यू वेरी मच।